My name is John Nemeth. I was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I went to school at the University of North Carolina. I'm married and I have one son who lives in Oakland, California, four granddaughters.
And you are a veteran?
Yes, I joined the Navy in 1968. I retired 22 years later in 1990 as a commander. That's a picture of my mom at Carolina the day I was commissioned as an ensign in the Navy. Very exciting day. That's a picture of me on my first ship, the USS Saratoga, an attack aircraft carrier. I was a division officer. Yeah,
What?
I was sent to Vietnam in 1972. I was there when the war actually ended, and the Viet Cong gave us a going away present. They shot some Russian rockets at us. And behind me, there's the bunker we built just in case such an action was going to occur, which did. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. After we left Vietnam, we went to Guam, which is a beautiful little island there in the Pacific. And that's a picture of my wife, Becky, and my son, John. One of the more picturesque views there in Guam, just a great 2.5 years. We were there when the Vietnam fell, and 50,000 Vietnamese refugees came to Guam to be processed before they came to the States. So that was quite an evolution for the military there to get those people settled, taken care of, and on their way to the United States. The USS Saratoga, CVA 60. Uh, quite a tour of duty there. I think the most amazing thing I've seen in the Navy is watching night operations on this carrier, watching planes take off and land. It's just extraordinary to see something like that.
When we're finished this interview about Veterans Day, I want to talk to you about the Saratoga because um,
Sure.
I was actually on the Saratoga in,
Were you?
yeah, in the summer of '67. Um,
Wow.
I was on a destroyer squadron flagship in the Mediterranean, and they
Okay.
helicoptered me over to the Saratoga to take off and land on a plane as training for as a midshipman. And
Wow.
and and so I want to talk to you about the Saratoga when we're finished this because I
Sure.
have some questions.
Sure. Of course.
My first question for you is: when I interview a veteran, what questions should I ask a veteran, particularly in
I
regard to
think the
Veterans Day?
yeah yeah I think the first question I would ask a veteran is, how are you treated as a veteran in the community in which you are now living? I think that would be the first question I would ask a veteran. Um, I'd like to answer that if I could for you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Dave, I live in Fort Mill, South Carolina. A county is called York County. Becky and I live in an over 55 community of about 1,500 people. Obviously, most of the people here are over 55, and tremendous amount of patriotism in this community. Um, for example, numerous flags are flying from people's houses. On patriotic holidays, we line the streets, every street of the community, with little flags. On Veterans Day, which is coming up, we have a veterans breakfast for all the veterans in our community and their spouses, which we always look forward to. We honor the people, the military who have died on Memorial Day. So it is quite a community of veterans here. Also, in Fort Mill, the town we live in, they are big backers of veterans. Many stores and establishments here give veterans discounts and benefits. For example, our electric company gives us a $20 rebate in November and a patriotic hat, okay, to honor us. Now, obviously, that's not a lot of money, but it still makes you feel good about being a veteran and that somebody is thinking about what you've done. Dave, there's not a week that doesn't go by that someone says to me when they know I'm a veteran, thank you for your service, which always makes me feel great. So yeah, like being a veteran, like being in this particular neighborhood where people appreciate the efforts of the military now and of course veterans. One more thing about our Fort Mill in York County. There's a Veterans Affairs uh, office, and there are like 30 different types of charities and groups in this county. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them are helping not just ordinary people, but veterans too. So really, it's a great place to live if you're a veteran, in my opinion.
Well, that's great. That's great. I think you know that my project called FineDay, our motto is learn from the past, live in the present, create the future with love. As a veteran, do you have any thoughts about how we can create the future with love?
Well, I think you need to have people discuss matters. For example, what's going on now in Israel and the Middle East. I think people have to try to tear away the emotions about a situation and try to use history and also concern for any person. Otherwise, you're not going to get past the rhetoric, which basically causes people to basically back up and get into their little shells. So you have to have open conversations and try to do away with the emotionalism, which is awfully hard to do. I think that would help people, okay, understand what's going on, especially what's going on with veterans and how, especially during the Vietnam era, when many military and veterans were not treated very well. You hardly heard the words, have a nice, thank you for your service. That's been turned around. And I think it's because people's experiences over the years watching our military and veterans in action. So it takes a lot of communication. I know when I taught in high school, the high school often had assemblies honoring the military and veterans also. It often came up, we would have ROTC people there. And so it was important to show people in uniform and also honor people on Veterans Day.
All right. Well, that's great. That's a great message. Thank you very much for your service and thank you for your time.
Thank you.